Wanted to give you a quick run through of the Sprint EVO 4G. That's what we got right here. This box has been previously opened. It was sent to us as a demo unit. This phone comes out on Friday. Today is Tuesday, so it's a preview unit that Sprint sent to us. But nonetheless, I wanted to open it up, give you a quick idea of what's going to be inside the box here. It's got this weird kind of box that they're using for this, which is interesting. Seems like it makes a lot of sense in terms of keeping things nice and earth-friendly. And so you got the phone right here. This is the EVO 4G. If you haven't seen this thing, it's a very large phone. We're going to turn that on in just a second. So I open this up, and it's pretty slim here. There's not too much going on. You've got a getting started guide. You've got some Sprint information. You've got a Spanish manual. And then you've got your basics guide, just kind of an instruction manual for the phone. There's actually a bag in here for sending your old phone back to recycle it, which they've done in the past. I've never seen them include a bag inside the phone, so that's kind of interesting. These are the sorted bags that the phone and charger were in. And then you've got the charger, so micro USB cable, and then just an AC outlet that will accept a USB plug. So there you go. That's what's inside the box. Now let's go ahead and we'll power up the Sprint EVO 4G. As you can see, it's quite large. The screen itself is massive, one of the biggest I think I've seen on a phone. And so it has to be big just to contain that screen, because the screen starts here, ends here. I mean, it's almost the entire front face of the phone, and that's why the phone has to be so large. So you've got an 8-megapixel camera on the back. You've got dual LCDs for a flash. You've even got a little kickstand here, so you can set the phone up on a table. Not a good example here, but nonetheless, you can see how that would work. It's got a headphone jack, a typical headphone jack on the top. You've got your power button right there. You've got a micro USB port on the bottom, and then an HDMI port, although you will need an adapter. This isn't going to work out of the box unless you buy an adapter. You've got your volume rocker on the side, and that's pretty much it. It's pretty basic. You've got your 4 basic Android buttons on the bottom here: home, menu, back, and search. And then you do have the front-facing camera right there next to the earpiece speaker. So let's go ahead and power this up. And you can see there's the typical HTC unlock screen that they've been using. Exactly what you'll see on the Incredible, so shouldn't be a surprise for most people. And here you go. It's just going through a little instructional thing, talking about the on-screen keyboard, and you can, go through this little thing here. Let's see, type in the word simple, because they say it's so simple to use. And I'll hit spacebar to, there we go, accept the suggestion. I'm going to go ahead and skip through this tutorial, because if you've used their keyboard before, they're basically showing you how to use some of the UI stuff. Google's location, to accept whether or not Google can use your location information right there. This is where you set up your accounts, and I'll go ahead and set up a Google account. Just a quick setup here. I have a Google account, so I'll sign in with that. And I will take this away for a second. So there you go. It's signing in with my Google account, and you'll see it just takes a little bit. And there you go. It's signed in. So now it has a green check mark next to the Google account. I could go ahead and set up an Exchange server account or other email account. I'm not going to do that right now. I can also set up my Facebook account here, which I'll go ahead and do. Okay, so I've set up my Facebook account as well. You can see the green dots right there. I'll hit next. And that's pretty much it. I mean, the setup on this thing really only takes a good 3 or 4 minutes. And then it's just loading up the interface. And it uses HTC's Sense UI, so it doesn't use stock Google Android user interface. It has the HTC stuff on there, which is interesting too. Here you see this is actually a little kind of helper window that popped up right away. It's telling you to press the home button or pinch to zoom out to see a thumbnail view. And how that works, I'll close that. This is my home screen. Typically on Android, you go back and forth, and you can see that Sprint's got some stock icons in there: Sprint TV, Sprint something, Sprint Zone, Sprint Navigation, Sprint Football, and NASCAR. And I can flip through the screens. It's telling me I have a new email. There's my calendar. So they have some screens set up for you. And the cool thing that HTC added was this pinch to zoom out thing. So I can pinch to zoom out, and it immediately takes me to a page where I can see all of my home pages, kind of like a Palm WebOS card view in a sense, except these aren't actually applications that are running. These are home screen pages. Many of them have widgets on them. Some of them, like this one, simply has the Google search widget on the top, and the rest of it is blank. And so I can jump into that, and I can always go back, or I can hit home, and it'll always take me back to home. I've got my notification bar up here on the top. I can hit that and jump right into my notifications for my email. And the rest is pretty basic Android. This is version 2.1. It's not running Froyo yet. It's got the FM radio on here. It's got your basic camera situation. And you can go into the camera. This is kind of cool because of the fact that this has a front camera. And I can go into the menu here, and we can go into the settings, and we can select, if you can see that, we can select which camera we want to use. So I can go switch camera, and I can use the front camera. So there you see the front camera shooting video through right there. You can see me, you can see the video camera that we're using to shoot this. Very cool aspect of having this front camera is to be able to do that. Obviously with this it doesn't make much sense because if you're going to take a picture you want to use the camera on the back because the quality is a lot better. But for using an application like Quick it makes a lot of sense. So again, a lot of this is the Sense UI stuff. This bar on the bottom is part of the Sense UI, HTC's add-ons to Google. This isn't normal Google. So if you haven't used Google Android before and you're using another phone, you won't necessarily see this unless it's an HTC phone and they put this on there. This weather widget is the same thing. You can tap on the weather widget, but this is an HTC thing. So for example, if you have a Google Nexus 1, you won't see any of this. If you have a Motorola Droid, you won't see any of this either. So that's pretty much it. That's it in a nutshell. We're on a 3G network here. There's no 4G in Phoenix yet, unfortunately, but I can say it's been running really well. Before I close this out, I guess I'll load up a web page real quick to give you an idea of what the speed's like. And it's pretty clear quickly that the 1 gigahertz processor in here makes a pretty big difference because not only is it faster, but even without the 4G, it's faster. You can see ESPN Mobile loads up really fast, and just sliding up and down is pretty seamless. I can jump back to my home page. I can jump back to the internet. I mean, it's really, really, really fast, and this supports pinch to zoom, which again is very, very smooth, very fast. I'll tap on a link, and it jumps right to it. Expect more on Friday. That is the HTC EVO 4G, and it'll be sold on Sprint.